What's going on, guys? Omar here with 68 Charge Garage. Welcome back to the page. So on this episode, I'm actually in the 68 Charger. We're heading over to Dripping Springs for a car meet. I do have my buddy Brian Garcia Tirado behind me with Tirado Racing, so you can see him right there. He is also making a video of today's events, which I'm sure his is going to be a lot better since he actually went to school for that and I'm just an amateur. So anyway, guys, hopefully there's a lot of Mopars out there. Hopefully it's a good turnout. I did want to say that it is 37 degrees right now, so hopefully that doesn't deter anyone from coming out. Brian and I just got over to Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, where they're hosting the Cars and Coffee for the month. So far, it's just me and him, and then there is a first-gen Camaro and I believe a 70 Mustang. So hopefully there's some more cars that show up. Let's go check them out. Finally get another Mopar in here. Got a nice little Roadrunner, 446 pack. But I didn't like their way. Had to fight yesterday. Had to find a way to change. Had to really find my way. Caught up in a daydream. I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how it does time, no opinion, safety. It's how I understand what I want in this place. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things. What could go wrong? What fate brings, but success is a finicky thing. And if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. And I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. So we're wrapping up the Cars and Coffee from this morning. It's now about noon. We went out there and we did find a 67 Coronet, and I believe it was a 71 Roadrunner that was out at there. So we did have some Mopar representation. On the way back from the car meet, we ended up losing a GoPro. So we did a couple of runs trying to find it, go back and forth, but we couldn't find it. I'm fixing to get on my Gladiator when I get home and do one more pass to see if being a little bit higher with that Jeep, if we can see it. Hopefully we find it, because I know Brian was really attached to it. I did come over to this one spot. Here, let me show you, where I recorded one of my Instagram reels that got a bunch of hits, which was crazy. Earlier today, we got done with Cars and Coffee over at Dripping Springs, Texas, and we kind of were driving all over the place, trying to find some good spots to take pictures and whatnot. So been hanging out with my buddy Brian Garcia Tirado with Tirado Racing, and
I got extra demon wheels at the house.
So anyway, he does have an extra set of demon wheels, and we started talking, and so I think we're gonna do a will it fit video and try to see if we can put some demon wheels on the 68 Charger. So what I'm gonna do right now is just go home, drop off the Charger, go and get the Jeep Gladiator, and that way I'm gonna head over to his house and then get those wheels and see if we can make them fit into the Charger. So on today's episode, we're gonna do a will it fit segment. All right, guys, so I switched over to the Gladiator, fixing to head over to Brian's house. Pretty excited about getting these Demon wheels. Hopefully they will fit without too many modifications. And if they do end up fitting the Charger, that's a possibility that we're gonna consider once we put that Hemi swap, that Hemi engine and TKO transmission in there. On my last road trip to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, I ended up getting a chip on my windshield that has super expanded, and it kind of went out of control, as you guys can see. And so it does go across my line of vision, so I'm gonna have to replace this. I'm thinking that I'm gonna go with some kind of Gorilla Glass as opposed to an OEM windshield, because that seems to happen a lot with Jeep windshields. So anyway, this is gonna be a fun other video that I'm gonna get to do, is swapping out this windshield on the Gladiator series that I have on the channel. All right, guys, and I'm pulling up to Brian's house right now. So let's get those Demon wheels. So they're open headers right now? Huh? Open headers right now? Open headers.
hopefully they fit. I mean, these are OEM Demon wheels too. They're my spare set. As you can see, they're all beat up because these are usually the ones I use for racing. Those are like my more like show around town wheels. But yeah, hopefully they fit in the front. It's 315 square, 18 by 11. And I'm excited to see them fit in the front of that Charger. If they fit, man, I might just have to buy you a set.
Definitely.
So, yep, one more, get to it, get to work.
All right, sweet, man. Well, thanks for the loaner, and we'll check them out. Here we have the first Demon wheel over the back wheel. I am 100% sure that the back ones are gonna fit. I am also 100% sure that the front ones are not gonna fit without any kind of modification. So hopefully they do go in, but I doubt that if I'm able to put them on that I'll be able to turn. So if this is the route I'm gonna go, I am gonna have to make some slight modifications just to make sure that we can fit those wheels into the front. We have probably about 10 minutes worth of daylight, and I really wanted to try this. I'm gonna reverse the car out and then at least try these two to see if I can make them fit. I'm gonna take some measurements and everything just to see everything about back spacing and clearance in the front and back. Like I said, I don't think that the fronts are gonna fit, but there's only one way to find out. So let's do this. I do apologize. I was gonna wash the car prior to doing this video, but like I said, it's getting dark and I really want to see if they fit. I was actually using this car all weekend, and it was raining and it was muddy, so as you can see, the car is being used. I want to talk a little bit about clearance before I remove the tire. Between the leaf spring and the back of this wheel, 15 by 10 with a 5-inch back spacing. Guess I have probably about an inch or so, maybe inch and a quarter of a clearance. So let's see. So yeah, so there's about an inch and a half or so. So let's go ahead and remove this and try that Demon wheel. Here's another quick comparison that I wanted to do. These are actually 315, 30, 18. And then these are 295, 50 R15s. So this one's just a little bit smaller. So let's see if it fits. So at least for the back, they do fit, and so yeah, a little bit over 3/4. Let's go ahead and lower it and see if we can make it fit. All right, so this is a yes. And now the one I'm really excited about is the one in the front. And this one, you can see there's a huge difference. So the fronts are actually 235/60 R15s. And like I mentioned earlier, these are 315 30/18s. So we'll see if they fit in here. So unfortunately, as soon as I try to put them on, they get stuck. So I do have some spacers that I can see if I can try, see if that works. So let's go ahead and try that real quick. I do have to be really careful going down right here just to make sure that the tire doesn't go over the fender. Pretty much the front looks awesome. It does barely clear right here. The backs do go in a little bit. We would have to use spacers for the back just to get it to be flush with the front. And I don't know, maybe I think that is a really good size for the front tire. And the back tire maybe just go a little bit bigger, and I think this would look awesome. on my car. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is just turn to see how much clearance I have. So going all the way to the left, I do have a little bit of clearance. The only issue that I'm having, again, running into is right here on the top of the fender. So I'm definitely not gonna be driving this car anytime soon with, oh, and look right there too. So that would be another thing that we would have to modify. Let's turn it the other way. All right guys, it actually does have some clearance over here. It's super close, but it's not touching anything. It like barely clears right there, but I'm pretty sure that driving kind of hard, it would rub. That does look pretty sweet though. So conclusion wise, they do go in, they do bolt on. This one did have to have a 1/4 inch spacer, but once we turn to the left and to the right, it does rub right here. And then also the tire hits right here when going to the right. All right guys, so we have a way better view in here. Like I mentioned, it does rub right there, and then on the inside of the fender as well. They do look freaking awesome though, but I would probably need a flare kit, wide body flare kit to be able to fit the ones in front. And then the ones in the back, we would totally need a spacer for them to fit better, or actually just to look a little bit better to match the front. All right guys, and for the conclusion, here is what the car would look like with Demon wheels. It looks freaking awesome. I wish there was a little bit more backlit right now so you guys could see what it looks like in person. But yeah, it looks really awesome. All right guys, so change of plans. I just realized that I do have some spacers for the back that I can use. That way the back can be flush with the front. So I am about to do that to the back tire. And what I'm gonna do is probably install all 4 tires today. And then tomorrow in the daylight, I will show you what it looks like, and it's gonna be awesome for Wheel Wednesday. I just ran into another issue. I'm gonna need to get some actual lug nuts for this because they are a different bolt pattern, obviously. So I'm gonna have to get some smaller ones. That way I can put the wheels on. All right guys, I know it's kind of late. I just picked up some lug nuts, so I'm gonna be able to put those spacers on there. And hopefully after this, I'm gonna have a badass looking Charger with Demon wheels. All right guys, so I'm back from my second trip from the auto store. I ended up having to go back because the lug nuts that I got were just a little bit too tall for that spacer. And so I went and got some universal ones. The only catch is they only had 8 instead of 10. So I'm just gonna do it since it's just a test fit. I'm gonna leave one out. Today is not my day. Another issue that I'm having now is these lug nuts are just a little bit bigger. So I'm actually not able to put in anything small enough to be able to get it in there, which is really frustrating. So we're back in business. I found one that actually fits. So I'm gonna be able to put these on. Now we have close to 2 inches, maybe a little less than 2 inches of clearance on this side. And then here it's pretty flush with the front. I'm gonna reverse the car and bring it back in. That way the car can settle a little bit and see what it looks like. So I think the back tire is money right there, the way it looks. It sticks out just right. And the one in front does stick out a little bit more. All right guys, and there you have it. I think it looks pretty freaking awesome. I actually would not mind the setup for the car. The only thing I would change, I think, is just aesthetically, or I don't know, just optical illusion, I guess. The front one, since the wheel well is a little bit smaller, it does look like it's like the tire is a lot bigger. So I think we can fix that with getting just a bigger tire for the back, maybe a 40 series instead of a 30. So these are 315 3018. So maybe a 315 40 would make it look just a little bit better, and it would fill in the wheel just right. For the front one, it looks like I would have to just again, just cut this a little bit right here and then just trim this a little bit, and that would work perfect right there. All right guys, so I just finished putting the Demon wheels on the driver's side of the 68 Charger. I'm about to back it up and then do the other side. And in the morning, once we have a little bit of light, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that looks like before I post this video tomorrow. All right guys, so it's about 6 in the morning and I do have to go back and start getting ready for work, but I did want to show you what these Demon wheels look like in the daylight. So finally I have a little bit of daylight and you can see these things look awesome. I don't think I'm able to drive around right now because they do rev a lot, so there's some stuff that I'm gonna have to do beforehand. I did want to give my buddy Brian Garcia Tirado with Tirado Racing a big shout out for allowing me to borrow these wheels to see if they fit in my car and see if this is going to be a possibility for my car in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.
Where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be.